Oh, this is so slow, this computer.
You have the apogee of technical devices and experience and knowledge.
Yeah, when they were on YouTube, I'm just waiting for it to stop buffering.
All right.
Deary me.
What are you watching, Spencer?
My wife is watching
Hello,
something
people.
half and half. Hey, what's going on?
Welcome to Made Event Talk, everybody. Hello, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I hope you are.
How are you,
and
Spencer?
I hope you're.
I'm okay. And yourself?
Slave, everyone else. Welcome to the podcast. Right, let's start this. Number one. Triple G has given up the IBF belt.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think he's he needs to start circulating himself out and retire. So, he's got 3 belts, and to keep defending and defending, he doesn't have that in him anymore to defend 4 times in a year. It's just, he needs to get money fights.
He only had 2 belts. He don't have 3. And he only has 1 now.
And the WBA.
Well, the IBO, I guess you can consider that.
Really counted,
but
it's a shit belt.
But like he had the IBO.
Who was the mandatory for the IBF? Because I forget who it was.
I think it was Falco.
Yep, that's right. So what do you make of this move?
So it wouldn't have been worth him defending, would it?
No, I mean, he could probably sell more fighting Laura because, he still has that belt and Laura is his mandatory. But, because they ordered that fight, so who knows what's going to happen. I didn't think he was going to defend both of the belts. So it's expected that this happened. And again, like I said, Laura's the more, I guess, known name over here. So he would probably sell more fighting a Laura than to fight a Falco.
Laura's a bigger name for sure, and he's held a couple of titles. So it's definitely a better fight to promote.
Laura's boring. He's dull to watch. And he couldn't sell. To be honest, as good a fighter as he can't. He struggles to sell tickets, even when he was in his prime. The only person I think that could have shifted tickets was Chris Eubank Jr. But that's not going to happen now, is it?
No.
Liam Smith could shift those tickets.
That
would shift those tickets.
He could fight. He could fight Liam Smith. He could fight Munguia. He could definitely fight those 2, but he would have to give up the titles.
What about a fight with Janabek or a fight, say, if Tim Tszyu moved up to 154? Is Tim Tszyu a middleweight or is he 154? I forget.
He's a middleweight now, isn't he?
No, he's 154.
Okay, he's talking about Charlo after this.
Could you imagine that would sell? An Australian Russian against a Kazakhstani. That would sell.
I mean, possible over there in Australia.
Yeah, definitely that's a fight.
I think GTG is going to do about 2 more fights and bow out.
Yeah, but who's the 2 fights he's going to fight? I think one will be. I don't think he would want to give up all of his titles. So I think he's going to want to hold on to at least one while he fights.
Well, that's the money. Yeah.
So since he gave
a belt, he's a name, but he's a 40-year-old without a name. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's got that much left, to be honest.
Well, you got to ask Canelo that because he beat Canelo's head in for about 3 rounds towards the end of the fight.
But yeah. So like I said, I think it's gonna be Laura. The fact that he gave up the IBF belt, they're gonna work out something with him and versus Laura, and whoever wins that, then he might fight Charlo. He's not fighting Janabek. Janabek and him are countrymen, and Janabek look up to him, and he's like an idol. He already said he don't want to fight Triple G, so um, so that if you going off of what you're saying, Tom, him having like two more fights, maybe you know,
Yeah.
might as well do it with Laura and then Charlo if he does the PBC side. Let them pay him like 40 million or some crazy nonsense to fight them two guys.
Yeah, he needs to make a couple of money fights and that's it, or else he's going to start getting hurt bad. He's slowing down too much. He's getting too hittable.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
it's-
and the Laura fight isn't too dangerous. I mean, I know Nathan was just saying Laura's boring and all of that, but it's also the opponent. You know, I think that clash of styles makes for an interesting fight.
oh
The
yeah,
way,
Laura's an excellent boxer.
No, he
right?
is, but he's not a career middleweight, is he? You know, he never has been.
But that's one of the good things about it. He's more elusive. He's not as elusive as he used to be because he's older. But
Wasn't Laura the 154 WBA champion as well at one point?
Yes.
At the same time.
he was, but he's not no more. Um,
No, didn't he lose that to Hurd? He lost to
yeah,
Hurd,
he's
right?
No,
he's
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, he lost it to Hurd. He currently is the WBA world title holder.
Regular.
You know, so but like I said, Laura is an elusive fighter. Triple G knows how to cut off the ring well, so that right there, it wouldn't make for the ordinary Laura fight because most of the guys that Laura fight don't cut off the ring well enough for him to like he could just roll around them. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to do that against Triple G.
Yeah.
You know?
and Triple G has the power punching edge.
Right. Laura got a little bit of pop now that he's older. He has to stand. He can't move around as much. And when he does throw punches, so, you know, he got a little bit of pop up at 160. But
Yeah, he'll
and
get
he's
your
not
respect
sure. He
for
don't.
sure.
Yeah,
He'll
he
get
ain't
your
Triple G.
No,
He ain't Triple G.
no.
But that Liam Smith is an interesting fight for Triple G too. If I,
Yeah,
you know.
but I think he'll hurt Liam Smith. He'll catch him coming in and hurt him.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next thing, Martin Bagul is targeting Daniel Dubois, heavyweight title
Yeah.
after signing a boxer. And I saw this. He says he wants to fight Daniel Dubois. Who wouldn't want to fight Daniel Dubois? He's the weakest of the champions by some way.
Yeah, by far. I mean, if the three is Usyk, Fury, and Dubois, then yeah, you would definitely go after Dubois.
After that last fight, people will be queuing up like hungry lions for him.
Yeah, they definitely gonna put their napkins on, grab their fork and knives, and be ready to feast.
Just like the hungry lions are when they go to kill the springbok. Yeah. Come
Yeah.
here, Daniel Dubois. We want to eat you.
Yeah.
But this is this fight.
I wouldn't
Frank
rag too
Warren.
much on Dubois. I wouldn't rag too much because he did blow out his Achilles.
No, he's good.
No,
He's getting better.
Yeah, without question. I think, I mean, a lot of the guys that's ranked in the WBA, outside of the top guys like Wilder and Ruiz and all of those guys, but the lower guys, Dubois got a good chance of beating all of those guys. They got a chance to beat him also, but he has a good chance of beating guys like Lucas Brown and he could probably beat Piccoli if he comes serious enough, you know.
He could beat White. I think he could beat Dillian White.
He could probably beat Dylan White.
This
That'd be a good selling fight for him.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I don't
And
think he's
even
ready
Chisora.
He's so
Yeah,
vulnerable.
Chisora would be a nice fight for him.
He's got no chin. His defense is terrible. You know, it's only a matter of time before he gets knocked out. I can see it happening very soon. They have to be so careful who they pick for him. Martin McCall is too dangerous.
Well, he's a
Yeah.
better boxer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He'll get more opportunities now.
Mhm. Well, shall we move on?
Yeah. What's next? Give me a second.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the list just in case.
Ray Vargas and Foster.
Ray Vargas, yes, tomorrow night, right? What's your predict on that, Spencer?
Is this his first time up there at this
I
weight?
think
He's
so.
never been there before.
Yeah,
Like it's always kind of like a iffy thing when a guy is like starting out at a heavier weight. I mean, he should look okay because it's not that great of a leap between the weight classes.
hmm
But how you like Forster? You think Forster's any good?
I saw his 2 losses. He was competitive. Vargas is tall, man.
Mhm.
And, he's going to lose some power punching up. I think Vargas is going to take this. I think Vargas is durable and strong. And I don't think Foster has enough to beat him. So I'm going to go with Vargas on this.
Yeah, if Vargas do like he did against homeboy Masaka, what's it, however you pronounce his name, Masayo,
Yeah.
he should do well. I mean, he should do well. Gonna make for an interesting one though.
I think it'll be fun. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be fun. What do you think, Nathan? Did Nathan go for a swim?
Oh no.
Well, I think that's fine, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm working so much this weekend. I'm going to have to watch replays. But an interesting one is the one after that, Joyce versus Zhang. That's gonna be something. The
That's
two
a great
mountains.
fight.
Yeah, those 2 mountains coming at each other. And
Yeah, that one is gonna be good.
Zhang's got the southpaw and the power. We'll see how he deals with
You
Joyce.
know
I mean,
what?
Joyce,
I think Joyce needs to do a clean his clock. Basically, he needs to put on a dominating performance and stop it.
Joyce fighting one of the champs after that.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean
he wins.
he's already the interim champion, so
Yeah, Zhang is a southpaw, and both the champs are southpaws, so he's prepping for the champ.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
I do
Zhang
believe-
is an easy prep. It's not a big
No, it's not. It's not. But he gonna have that angle that he's gonna be able to fight from because Usyk is a southpaw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Fury
Usyk-
Fury fights anyway. So,
I
but
don't
Fury
see-
is also a southpaw.
Go
I
ahead,
don't
Nathan.
see Dubar fighting any of the champions. I think the belt will be given up. He'll be elevated to champion. I can't see him fighting for the title against any of the guys. The only one that they have talked about is Tyson Fury in a stadium fight. But I guess if he gets offered, he has to take it, don't he?
Well, sure he does. That's a huge fight for huge money.
But
In
if
England?
he loses,
Yeah.
doesn't he have to start again? But, he's worked hard. He's the interim champion. I'm sure in an ideal world, he would rather Usyk gave up the title so then he could fight Tyson Fury in the unification. That would make more sense. That's what I think they should angle for.
Well, timing is everything. Hopefully he wins because that would be a big money fight for those 2 guys.
I can't see Usyk fighting Joyce. I just don't think he'll want it. It's not a big enough money fight. Not enough money.
What? Did Usyk beat Joyce?
Yeah, but in the amateurs. he beat him.
But that's the selling point.
It
Well,
is-
listen. Yeah, I get you. Like Joyce probably needs a little bit more, like promotion or something. We know him well, but he probably needs a little bit more promotion. So, but he gonna have to. I don't know. I don't see Usyk not fighting Joyce because of the money.
I just don't think. I mean, he wants to fight Tyson Fury, not Joyce. That makes no sense.
Oh,
if he can get
oh
Fury
no!
fight,
Without question, the undisputed is going to happen first. But I'm saying, like after the undisputed, I think Joyce is going to be the first person. Whoever once that their 2 fights is finished, I think Joyce
So,
is
to be
next
honest,
up.
nobody wanted Usyk to win. People wanted Tyson Fury Joshua. That was an easier sell than Usyk.
Yeah, I mean they could still sell that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Usyk will retire, after he fights Fury, win or lose.
Yeah, he will.
I think he's come so far, and he's getting older, and
He can't
why
do
keep
anymore.
going against these big guys? Yeah.
Right, let's move on.
Damn.
is that-
It's sad. It is sad that that's okay for some. To me, I not saying that the people should stay around until they can't speak anymore, until they punch drunk or whatever, but I like to see people take on all challenges, not
So
just
do I.
take on the champ and that's it. And I'm retiring. I'm the best there ever was. When you got a whole lot of people that could come up and challenge you,
But why would he want to stay around? I mean, he's unified the cruiserweight division. Once he's done the heavyweight, he can walk away and no one can say anything. If he beats Fury, no one can say anything more. There's nothing more for him to do other than
Plus,
fight
he's
well.
had a long amateur career too.
Yeah, okay. Granted, a lot of the guys that's not American or on this side of the hemisphere, they have, some of them have extensive amateur careers.
Yeah.
Well, the Cubans do too, so they on this side.
Okay.
But
We'll move on. Japan are increasing their price from £7.99 to £20 in the UK.
welcome to our world.
Hello.
We paying $20 now. We've been paying $20 for like 2 years.
I was paying £1.99, then I paid £7.99. Now it's gone up to £20. But with the £20, if you pay $100 or £100 for a year, you get everything for £10 a month. Just
Yeah, they got it like that. They got it like that here. Like you could get the $100 package.
I know £19 isn't a lot. I'm still going to stay subscribed. I just think it's a little bit more,
Yeah, no, they did that over here. They did that over here. They was $9.99. They said, and then they immediately jumped up to $20.
Disgusting. They haven't got the content to justify that price increase, I don't think. There's hardly any boxing on it, is there? There's hardly any good cards on it. Have you seen any good any good cards from Matchroom? I haven't. Not really.
Matchroom, yeah, they got a lot of competition over there though, like in the UK. So y'all, we get to see Golden Boy fights too, and
That's right.
and Matchroom fights. I don't know how it is over there. If y'all gonna see the Golden Boy fights,
We get the same as you. But what
okay.
pisses me off is make it justified. Give us the content, stack the cards, give us quality world class fights. Good fighters. We don't want this shit domestic stuff like the British title. Nobody wants to see that crap. I don't want to see it. I want to see big fights. I mean, yeah. Fabio Wardley, seriously.
Oh wait, ain't that's the guy that do Bargon fight?
He can probably beat.
Yeah, that's the guy. Anyway,
now Verratti has vacated his WBO belt already.
Yeah, well, he's growing, man. He's going to stay up there at 130, I think. He can't make the weight anymore, I'm sure, because he looked very big in his last fight. So
yeah. I mean, he should be able to win a title at 130.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. I mean, I know he got dropped in that fight. He got hit flush, but very strong, a lot of stamina. He should be fine.
Yeah, and when you look at the landscape at 130 now, Shakur's gone, so
it's safe.
It's kind of safe for him.
He'd get his ass kicked by Shakur.
Right. In our next thing, I watched the Anthony Joshua Jermaine Franklin press conference, the whole 20 minutes of it, and it consisted of Anthony. Has anybody else watched it?
I
No, I
haven't
didn't see the
watched it. I've
press.
read about it. I haven't watched. I've read
It's
about it.
consisted of Anthony Joshua saying, "I respect Jermaine Franklin. You're going to see a new Joshua. La di
Yeah,
da di
blah
da.
blah blah blah.
Blah
It's the
blah
same
blah
old
blah
song.
blah."
Same
It
old
was
Who's
song.
his trainer?
Derek something.
Oh, he got Derek James. That's right.
Derek James. Okay,
What,
yeah, that's
what
right.
pedigree does this man have? Is he managed world? Is he trained world title champions?
Derek James trained Charlo, the undisputed Charlo,
Yeah.
and Errol
Uh-huh.
Spence,
Okay, so
Well,
he's
there you
got
go.
pedigree. He's got pedigree.
and the guy that just beat the dude. What's his name? Frank Martin. He also trained
Right.
Frank Martin.
Right.
This
No,
this
he's got
fight is
cred. He's got
definitely
cred. Yeah.
this fight is such a cherry pick, but it's a cherry pick that may go wrong. I'm not saying it will, but you know, why would you choose someone who's just lost to Dillian White and he got knocked up? But I can understand why they've done it for the narrative to sell a Dillian White fight later down the line.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's to sell the
soft
matchup.
fight. It's a soft fight. It's got to be because
Could you imagine if he lost to Jermaine Franklin? How hilarious that would be! How bad that would look.
he needs
He's
to
not going to.
rebuild. He needs to rebuild his image with a very strong performance here, so he can make more money. That's what it is. But you know, you can never be certain with heavyweights what's going to happen. He's going to have to make sure he keeps him at the end of the jab and gets the right hand over.
Yeah, he may get knocked out. We just don't know. Joshua it could go wrong. We've seen it happen before. You know.
Well, no, we're going to see a new Anthony Joshua. He promised.
Yeah, but all it is, they've just repackaged him so that it's the same Anthony Joshua who don't like getting hit. But basically, what they should have said is we're choosing an Anthony Joshua, but we're just going to carefully pick his fights. We're going to handpick his fights like Rocky. We're going to handpick his fights like they did to Rocky and Rockyville. Right, so they'll get him fighting.
You better stay away from Deontay Wilder. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. So if he fights Jermaine Franklin, Dillian White, and somebody else, and Hergovich or a belt or whatever, or one of those guys, he can safely get a world title, make some easy defense. They're going to be careful who they pick for now, aren't they? I think they're going to be very.
Well, they are being careful.
AJ gonna fight Wilder in 3 fights, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the end of both their careers.
Well,
They're gonna make 20, 40 million each.
No, Wilder's got a bit
Wilder
more
needs
left
to
than
keep
Joshua. I think Wilder's got more left. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean he might not retire Wilder after he beat Joshua, but Joshua after 3 fights, I think they're gonna try to get that next big money fight.
They're not going to let Joshua anywhere near Wilder. Jesus Christ, he's too good and too dangerous. They're not going to let Eddie Hearn will never let that happen. He's already risked it with Usyk. They're not going to put him in someone who can put him in a coma.
Anthony Joshua, he's improved, but he still fights the same style. Wilder stylistically is a nightmare for everybody because he's so awkward and so much power. Fury is a nightmare for anybody because he could switch hit, move, and he's got power and size. So
yeah, he could fight in so many ways.
Yeah, Anthony fights one way, and that's it. I mean, that's why Usyk was able to beat him. He couldn't deal with the angles. He couldn't deal with the movement. He was good with Klitschko because they both fought a very similar European style. So they were both, straight ahead, knocking heads. But you take him out of that.
This is a Vladimir Klitschko rebuild, isn't it? But they're just going to pick the easy opponents, get him a world title, make the easy defenses.
Well,
and that's it.
Vladimir, he defended against everybody who was there at the time.
But
he didn't
Vladimir also had Manuel Stewart in his corner. Joshua doesn't have him.
But they're not the same people. But I'm just saying, stylistically, he fights a very European style. He didn't get down and dirty. See, Tyson Fury was able to change his style. That's why he did what he did against Wilder.
Well, I look at Joshua as a poor man's Vladimir Klitschko. I always have to.
Well, okay, that makes sense. You want to move on to Taylor and Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah.
Let's do that. What do you got to say about this one, Spencer?
Yo, man, Josh Taylor wasted Jack like a whole year. Jack Catterall's time, yo. He could have been say, yo, you know what? Go ahead, man. Yo, he wasted a whole Yo, I'm so I don't even like Jack Catterall like that, but I feel for the guy. Like, yo, this guy, he got robbed from the undisputed. Then in the rematch, he watches Josh Taylor vacate all the belts that he wanted to still have. He watched him just throw them back, throw all the belts back. It was like, all right, I'm gonna still fight you, popping all this crap, and then they got pushed back for the Eubank fight, and then he gets hurt. Like, yo, come on, man.
Yeah, well, this fight's going to be in the UK. I mean, do you think Teofimo could bring it to Josh Taylor?
Yeah,
in
of course
the
he
UK?
can.
He needs that. He probably needs that. He probably needs to be away from home for a big fight.
He needs to be away
They
from
could
his
just-
father, I think. Is what he needs.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. It'll be a good fight, though.
He's kept one of the belts, hasn't he? Has he kept any of the belts? Josh Taylor. or not?
He doesn't. Josh Taylor doesn't have anything up at the new weight, though. I mean, this is a heavier weight he's going for, right?
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
surprised.
this is that welterweight?
Wait a minute. What is this at? Hold on, I'm looking at it. It doesn't say in here what the weight is. Do you know what the weight is? Because
It should
they're
be
both at
140.
140, right?
Yeah, I thought they was just gonna be at 140.
Be a catch one.
Well, this is a tough weight here, to be at, because you got Progress here, and you got, Devin Haney can move up. I mean, it doesn't say. I wonder if
Jackson.
Josh Taylor's still got the.
it's going to be 140. It's going to be 140.
Yeah, he got because Josh is still a WBO champ. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Catterall's not the mandatory, is he? It would just be a
no, he was the mandatory the last fight
but not
when
this
but not this one because he won. Josh won the fight on paper.
Why would you want to waste your time burning fighting someone you've already beaten? Obviously, it was controversial, but he can move on. He won he was the undisputed champion. He won all the belts. He can be happy with it. He probably
Yeah,
doesn't want to
listen.
change. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Listen, I got a homeboy on another social media on in one of the Facebook groups, right? That he was a big Josh Taylor fan. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's a big Josh Taylor fan, right? And I would tease him and I'm like, yo, Josh lost that fight against Jack. He's like, no, he wasn't. He was drained. He should have been at 147. He was hurt. He was giving him all his excuses. And I'm like, yo, he lost the fight. In my eyes, if I was a judge, I would have picked Jack. But he should move on then. He shouldn't even be wasting his time trying to talk about a rematch or whatever the case is. Just move on. 'Cause if he's not going to rematch him immediately, then he shouldn't even be discussing this. Like, making all these excuses.
Look, Catterall will get his chance to be world champion, which I'm sure he will.
He should fight Prograis. Catterall should fight Prograis.
I don't think he'd beat Prograis. I think Prograis is, it would be close. It'd be very close.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
I
like,
don't think it'd be close.
Oh yeah, he
I'm
should.
just saying he should. Prograis is looking for a somebody to fight. Jack needs somebody to fight. Prograis is a champ, so since Josh ain't gonna fight Jack, let him fight one of the other champs.
If he goes to America, he'll get screwed the same as he got screwed with the judge because he's not a champion. He'll get screwed again.
Prograis, but Prograis ain't got no. He's like, hey, we ain't going to no judges' cards.
No, Prograis is a
They
bad
should-
dude.
They should have that in the UK. They should have that in the UK.
Yep.
Jack Catterall versus Regis Prograis, because Prograis will go elsewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Over Regis Prograis, I think he's gritty. He's tough. He doesn't give up. He's improved as a fighter a bit. He's got plenty left in the tank.
Yeah,
Yes, he
and
does.
then he could clearly beat Jack Catterall, and that whole Josh Taylor Regis Prograis rivalry could be reignited.
Yep. If Josh stays at 140.
Let's be honest.
Regis could go to 147 too. I'm sorry, Nathan. Go ahead.
People forget how green progress was back a couple of years. He's still learning. I know he's like in his 30s, but he's still learning as far.
No,
It was a
you're
close
right.
fight. It was a
I was
close
going to
fight.
say you're right, and it was a close fight still. So he was greener then, and it was a close fight. So he is probably better today. So the fight will be much different.
He probably beat Josh Taylor now if he fought him now because he's improved.
I don't know about that, to be honest with you, because Josh Taylor actually knocked him down, and they didn't call it a knockdown in that fight.
Yeah,
Josh
but he
Taylor was
won.
very good in that fight.
Yeah, he won. He won the fight. I don't think it was a robbery or nothing like that, but it was a good close fight. All I'm saying is that he was greener then when it was a
Yes.
closer fight.
No,
So
you're right.
the
I get it.
gap,
I get
the
it.
gap is closer, if not overtaking Josh.
Well, Josh
Let's
hasn't been
move
as
on to
active
next.
as
And
he should.
Tony Harrison
Yeah.
says Tim Tszyu was put in his spot by many people. No, fuck off. Seriously, Tszyu's a good fighter, good up-and-coming fighter,
Well-
you know?
Well, they about to fight each other. So
Well, I think Tony Harrison is
I
a better
think that's
boxer
just
than
puts it
Tszyu,
right.
but it's going to be a power here. I think Harrison is an excellent boxer, but Tszyu has power. They got to tighten up his defense a little more because Tony is not a huge knockout puncher. That's probably why he was able to step in. But
Yeah.
Tim puts pressure on you, but he's not the greatest boxer in the world. You know,
no, he's not. He
slick.
can't
No,
get.
he's not.
Yeah, he can get caught.
Yeah, he has his head on the line and he comes straight in. You know.
Look,
Yeah.
he's not his father, but, you know,
No.
he's no Eubank. No Eubank either, is he?
No.
He's the real deal,
That's
Tim is.
still goofing on Chris Eubank.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
boy.
he'll win a title now, but he could do, the way he's carrying on.
Yeah.
You know,
I think if they bring
he's
him
beating the
along
Dennis
right,
Hogan's, Jeff.
Yeah, he could do the Australian circuit and maybe win a title by, competing against one of them dudes if they ranked high enough.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think he could ever beat Charlo, even after these next two fights.
No,
I just don't think.
But he will win a version of the belt at some point. They'll position him in that kind of position.
Well, either that, he's going to get positioned on his back. If he fights the right guy.
That's your opinion. You're entitled to that,
He gonna mess around and have to fight Charlo, lose to Charlo, and then Errol Spence and them gonna be coming up, and then he gonna lose to Errol Spence.
Yeah. So he's got to make a move soon. No, I like Tim Tszyu. Don't get me wrong, Nathan. I do. I appreciate the fact he's come as far as he has. I'm just saying he needs to get some training on like getting his face out of the way of those right hands. Because
Yeah, because he definitely gets hit.
Going to drop him, they're going to bust him up, and that's a bad thing. So I admire his
He's
toughness. and his power.
28 now. He's older than I thought he was. God.
Well, he's going into his peak years, so hopefully he's training a lot. Anyway, you want to move on to Callum Smith and
Yeah, Callum
Stepien?
Smith will be
Give us
fighting
your take.
Harold Stapien,
Give
a
us
man
your
who
view.
comes from
Poland.
Poland. He's ranked 32.
What is your opinion on this?
And I think it's just a soft fight for him to get a title shot because he's a mandatory, isn't he? Or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah, they're not gonna give up his position because he's Peterbius mandatory, right?
That's correct. The WBC mandatory. Don't get me wrong. I think Callum's a good fighter, but he's not up to the standard of Peterviev and those guys.
Well, that's another topic.
He has
What do you
power.
think about? What do you think about this fight here with Stepien? Did you watch him fight?
Well, his last fight.
Okay. So what do you think of the style-wise with him and Smith? Is what I'm asking.
Basically, what you're going to see a typical Callum Smith performance where he walks forward, he stalks him, hunts him down, and he marks him and he knock him out with a devastating knockout. This guy is tailor-made for him. This guy's other guy he's fighting's percentage is like 30% knockout ratio. So and this guy's never fought at European level or any kind of like world level. So he'll smash him to pieces in a couple of rounds.
Okay. Are you familiar with this guy, Spencer?
Nah, not. No.
Okay, I watched tape on him, and he likes to come in with his left hand at his waist, and he walks in like that, and he's wide, but he's very strong puncher. So what I'm looking at here is for Callum, he's going to come to Callum. Callum needs to just circle and then unload the right on him, because I know he likes the left hook, but Callum has the faster hands. This guy's wide and strong, very strong puncher.
Oh,
But,
okay. So he's a
but
power
Callum-
puncher.
Yeah.
Since Callum's moved up, he looks deadly. Obviously, because it's due to the matchmaking, making him look better than what he probably is.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Callum kind of folded against Canelo because he was, avoiding power with him. He
Yeah, I mean,
was on the
Canelo's
ropes
a
a lot.
bloody good fighter. Canelo's
Yeah.
a good fighter. You can't look. Callum tried his best, but he couldn't make the distance. Obviously, Canelo is 6 inches shorter than him. Canelo was unloading him, hitting him with punches to the head with one punches. The same punch when he was throwing the overhand right, wasn't it? And hitting with it and connecting with it all the time.
Yeah, hitting him in the elbow and the left hook to the elbow and the hip. But the thing was, Callum kind of froze in that, don't you think, Spencer? It's like the big
Yeah.
fight, he just froze.
Yeah, that was going to say. He was on the big stage and he didn't perform. Some people sink, some people swim.
Yeah.
He sank.
It's like when Floyd used to say, "It's not the same. It's not the same." Everybody said,
Yeah.
"Going to beat him?" Goes, "No, man, it's
It
not the
doesn't
same."
mean that Callum can't win a version of the world title at light heavyweight, which he could do. I'm not saying he'll beat anyone good for it, but again, he'll be positioned. Eddie Hearn will make sure he's in a position to win some version. Or if not, then they'll move him up to cruiserweight. Because again, he's a big light heavyweight, isn't he?
Yeah, he a tall dude, so he got the frame for it.
I don't know how he ever made 168 for so long.
Yeah, and that's another reason why Canelo was probably able to feast on him. Of course, he had to
Yeah.
make that weight.
He could have been dry that fight. He looked weak to me.
Yeah, and Canelo and them might have put restrictions on what his hydration could be and all this sort of stuff.
I recall something like that now that you mention it. But anyway, we'll see. I think he should win with this. What about this other one you put up there with Serrano and planning to go to MMA again?
Yeah, wait. Before we go into that,
Go ahead.
we didn't discuss last week's fights.
Oh man, yeah, I know.
That's the reason why I brought up Serrano, because she was one of the fights.
Well,
anyway,
you have him here, don't you? You have.
yeah, I have her. Well, we could talk about the fight when we put off the fact that she's thinking about going back to MMA, because
Well, go ahead.
she won a Katie rematch. They're trying to do a Katie rematch, but I don't understand why they don't do her versus Baumgartner now. Baumgartner is undisputed at the weight class right above her.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true. Well, I think the Katie Taylor fight is more money, especially in Madison Square Garden.
yeah, it's definitely money. Baumgartner was on the Daily Show yesterday.
Yeah.
That gets watched by millions. So
Wow. That's funny. But Baumgartner, when she fought, what was it? She took the title from Mayer, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I gave the nod to Mayer in that fight. It was close, but I gave it to Mayer.
they talking about doing a rematch.
Yeah, definitely. But Serrano's fight was a bloodbath with that girl. She just kept punching and punching and punching and punching.
Yeah.
Kept coming and coming. Ooh.
Yeah, that. Listen, the ladies had both of them. The Serrano fight and the Baumgartner fight. Both those fights were good fights. They were exciting fights. Baumgartner dropped. Serrano. I'm going to talk about Serrano since we want her. Serrano's fight was good. It was definitely one of those, definitely a ladies' fight of the year candidate. So far, and we'll see. She did MMA before, and she's making a little bit more money boxing now than she was before when she was venturing off and doing MMA. So I'm not sure what would transpire with that one because like she might have needed to do it before for the money, and now that she's making a little bit more money boxing, she's one of the female faces of boxing, the faces of the ladies. Anyway, her checks are probably getting a little bit better now.
Right. Well, I'm not against the MMA move. She's 3-0, I think, right?
Yeah,
So,
she wasn't bad.
She's a fighting woman. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I admire her.
Yeah, she's from Brooklyn too, so she got it in her.
What a surprise! What a surprise! The ass kissing continues.
Oh, listen to him. We got to get back at that soon. We'll wait. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna lie in wait, and then we're going to get you back. All right. What about this Bumgardner fight? That's number 12 here. I mean, she looked great, didn't she?
Yeah, but listen, this is the deal with Bumgardner, and it's kind of funny that Harrison is her trainer, right?
Yeah.
Because she looked like she was having a little bit of stamina issues in the fight. Like she was blowing homegirl out. She dropped a few times. So she was clearly winning the fight, but then she looked like she started to gas out a little bit.
She did after the first round. She did.
And
she went all out in the first round to take her out.
The third round, when she knocked her down twice, like the fourth round, she kind of like took off, and the girl was catching her a lot. Was connecting. I was like, wait a minute, Bumgarner, you letting her catch you too much, man. You might get caught with one of them punches. You might get caught slipping and get dropped yourself. But she came back and wobbled homegirl again. Yeah, that's cool. Ladies fights is exciting.
I think she got overexcited. That's all, and just went all out. And it got the best of her.
And I'm gonna say this. They're making mention. I know it's not a fair comparison. However, ladies boxing has now they got like 5, 6, maybe 7 undisputed champs in different weight classes. Whereas the guys, it's hard for them to do it now. We got Canelo.
Talk about our next opponent, who is a unified champion. Terry Harper. She moved up from featherweight or something. She moved up from super featherweight all the way up to
She went to super featherweight to super welterweight, right?
No, from super featherweight to
super welterweight, right?
Yeah, she was super featherweight.
Right.
Then she won. She lost to who did she lose to?
Bumgardner. She lost to Bumgardner. She got knocked out staying on her feet.
Yeah.
Harper. That's how what's it called got it. And didn't Breakus lose? Who did Breakus lose to?
Yeah, Breakus lost her
Jessica
title.
McCaskill.
Jessica McCaskill.
Right.
This is
Right.
a great fight,
Right.
but I mean, Breakus won her last fight about 3 months ago in 6th round. She's 41 years old. What has she got left? If there's anything of the old Breakus left, she should win this comfortably. If there's any of it left, she'll win this fight.
Yeah, Harper looked good in her last fight at her first fight at super welterweight though. So
yeah, but even Natasha Jonas, a girl who'd lost three world title champions, it's like almost in that division seems to be not very talent laden in that division.
Yeah,
that division looks lacking a bit of quality, I think. Before Harper and Jonas won titles.
Yeah, it's like a stepping stone. If they go in there, they go in the middleweight to get beat up by Clarissa, or they going to jump back down the welterweight.
Harper went up to this weight because she saw Natasha Jonas, somebody she'd already got a draw with. She thought, if she can win a world title, then it's going to be easy for me, and it was.
Yeah.
You want to move on to Battle Jack?
Yeah.
So he wants to be a 3-time world champion in 3 divisions, and he's looking at cruiserweight, right, with Makabu.
Yeah, Makabu's a weak champion, isn't he? Very weak. He's a good fighter, but
Yeah,
he's weak.
he could beat him. Yeah.
Badou Jack's good enough to beat him, I think.
I don't know how long he'll last against the other guys, though.
I mean, if he wins the WBC belt, he can walk away and retire, which is what he should do if he does.
Yeah, he's gotten to that point where
He's
he
39.
should. I mean, he's going to be a smaller cruiserweight, but he could take that guy.
Yeah, he could beat him, and like he said, become a three-weight champ.
Yeah.
And or wait, did he ever win it? No, not a three-weight champ. He ain't never won a title in light heavyweight.
No, he would. If you listen, I'll explain. Obviously, he was WBC super middleweight champion, and then he was WBA regular champion because he beat Nathan Covey, so he was the WBA world champion.
At what? At light heavyweight? Oh, right. He won the WBA world title there. Okay.
Yeah,
that's the title. I don't discount it like others do.
It is
flag is a flag. Not everybody could win one.
No, so
we haven't won it.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's doing better than I am in boxing.
Yeah, really.
For Badou Jack because he came from being like an average super middleweight to joining the Mayweather promotions to improving beyond recognition. He was never good at particularly any areas. He was good at different areas. He was a jack of all trades.
Well, he had to fight Pascal, who was a PED clown.
So
right?
he improved as he got older in his 30s. He started to peak and he got better. Then he went up to light heavyweight. He got unlucky against Brown, and Pascal. It was all unlucky, But,
Listen, I'm in total agreement with you on that one, Nathan. Like when I first seen Badou Jack, I'm like, I don't see anything special about him. But then I seen he had a decent work rate. It took him a minute. He always came. It seemed like he always came on late in fights.
Right.
But I'm like. It was messing with the Mayweather gym. You seen a stark improvement. I'm like, okay, he's better than I thought he was. He
was just a slow starter. He was a very slow starter. That was his fault.
Yeah.
He was careful.
Yeah, and he had that bad cut. Who was it against?
Like Pascal, I think it was.
When he had that.
Marcus
it was Brown that he had that cut against?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't remember. I thought it was Pascal, but I don't remember exactly.
And he still kept it going. So I used to call him Draw because he had a few draws.
Yeah.
Badou Jack.
Badou the Draw Jack.
Yeah, Badou the Draw Jack of all trades. Because like Nathan said, he didn't do any one thing well. He just did a lot of. He did a lot of things okay.
The difference in this fight is Makabu has that one punch knockout power to knock you out. You know what I mean? He does. He's got that power, but that's all he's got.
And probably has been getting hit by guys that was bigger than Jack. So that's also. But all Jack got to worry about is his Makabu. So
I think Jack can outbox him because obviously we saw Mafaba or whatever his name is, some of the South African cruiserweight who nearly beat him. Fabius, I can't pronounce his name, but you know who I mean.
Let me ask you: do you think would this make money for Badou Jack if he beats Makabu? He becomes a champ, and he has one title defense against Sergey Kovalev. You think the Sergey Kovalev Badou Jack fight will make some money?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, it'll do well.
I think they could sell that. Promoters could sell that fight to one of the streaming services.
I tell you what, Kovalev has only had 2 fights at cruiserweight. Neither fighters earned a title shot.
Yeah, they could.
Guys like outside the top 30. The guys you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I would be looking to do that if I was Badou Jack and Sergey Kovalev. I'd be looking to get that fight in.
I would watch it, definitely. I would watch that. Mm-hmm. But I think Kovalev would win that.
I think so too.
Kovalev should win, you say. Kovalev at this weight, he's looked rejuvenated since he's had. Is it Eddie Futch? Not Eddie Futch. What's his name?
Buddy McGirt.
Buddy McGirt. He's adopted this new style of not boxing safety first style of jab, staying behind the jab, like all of these fighters do that he trains. You know.
Yeah.
Well, he's been rocked a few times now, so better stay away from his head.
Yeah, and Kovalev used to have a good, decent jab, yo. He was the crusher for a while, yo.
He still has a good jab.
I watched his last fight against Kovalev, and everything was behind the jab. And the jab, he just won the fight on the jab alone, basically.
Yeah, Kovalev used to be the man.
He was the crusher.
Yup. Killing people in the ring, man. That guy got a body.
I know, he does.
Deontay Wilder wish he was Kovalev. No.
No. Let's hope he doesn't have to have that on his soul.
All right. Yo, they got a fight in Wembley tomorrow, Nathan. They got these two cards I had seen. And Daniel Dubois' sister going to be on the card, actually.
Yeah, Caroline Dubois versus Fershi Mashure.
Yeah, for a female lightweight. Okay.
Yeah. But Adam Aziz is the head of this card.
So Caroline Dubois fighting tomorrow?
Yep.
Let me have a look.
That's right. Wembley. Adam
Aziz
is headlining against Santos Reyes. They got a lot of stock in Adam Azim because he's got like a high knockout percentage rate. And this guy Reyes, he's a good boxer, but he doesn't have a lot of knockouts.
Vitor O'Reilly's pretty good. Vitor O'Reilly, I believe, is
yeah, he's a cruiserweight.
Is he? Yeah, he is. Yeah. Well, I think he is.
Yeah, they got him listed as cruiserweight.
Yeah, so he's kind of like just behind the Acolis and who's the other guy? Richard Rhea Kapoor guys and the Billy Smith sort of guy. Just down below them.
Okay. So this might be an interesting card then. Should be entertaining fights then.
Is that on tonight or tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a bit like the next gen card they did a couple of years ago, basically.
Oh, well, why not?
Similar to that.
They used to have HBO. I kind of miss HBO boxing because they used to have that
I miss it, yeah.
They used to do that HBO After Dark, and they would have like those some of these up and coming fights that will fight just like they do on Showtime. Showtime now, like they have the Friday night fights.
That's where I first saw Canelo on After Dark. I saw Canelo.
What was the boxing schedule like in the 80s with HBO? Was it pretty stacked?
Oh, it was great. It was about 2 fights a month, right?
Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, it was
3.
Yeah, and you had like other stations like USA doing like Tuesday night fights and Wednesday. What is it? Wednesday night fights or was it Tuesday night?
Friday night.
Yeah, like you could get fights. Oh yeah, it was just crazy. There was a lot more boxing on TV.
Like I watched a fight the other day. Carl, whatever his name was, against Mike Tyson. Can't remember his name.
Carl the Truth.
Yeah.
Carl.
And the music.
Yeah, man. They're like
he got froze out in the first round. He was so scared.
Yeah, it was like 90 seconds or something.
Less than that.
He's dead now. Carl Williams is.
That's a shame if he is.
Died about 50
years ago. Remember he gave what's it called a decent fight? Was it Larry Holmes?
Yep. Yep, he did. But he didn't last against
Mike Tyson.
No. He did not last against good old.
He was not the truth then.
Most guys lost before they got in the ring. They were intimidated by it.
Yeah, I've noticed it.
And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because I mean there was a few guys that kind of like neutralized Tyson's knockout stuff like bone crushers. Them big guys, they would just grab him up, hold him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're not hitting
that
me.
Was it. Yeah. And if Larry Holmes actually was a couple of years younger, he might have gave Tyson a run for his money.
Yeah.
Larry Holmes had a massive jab.
And a good right hand.
Yeah, and that's what you would have needed to keep Mike Tyson. All that bobbing and weaving foul, just keep him right behind that jab.
Well, that's what Buster Douglas did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Buster fought him perfectly until he caught the uppercut.
Yeah.
That was something.
And yeah, Don King talking about it was 14, 15 seconds. They did the
Well,
whole thing like
it was.
Listen,
It was a
listen.
full count. So was his count. So was Mike's count.
Listen, yeah. They was hoping he was getting up. They was like, yo, he can't. Like he reaching for his mouth. Like you can't even see Mike.
What I ever saw was Bruce Seldon. What was he thinking? What was he doing? He was like he almost gave up before.
Listen, I'm gonna also say this with the Buster Douglas long count. Buster was looking at the ref. And he was going off the ref's count. He don't know it's 14 seconds or whatever. He hear the ref say 8, and like a professional, like unlike Chris Eubank, who never been knocked down before and didn't know to just give himself a second before jumping back up, Buster Douglas knew. Let me just get a break because I was winning this fight. Let me just regroup, take a few seconds, get my wits together, and then get up. I got it. I got 10 seconds. You know, so
yeah. Well, it's hard to think when your brain is rattled, but you know, he knew what to do, and it wasn't his fault.
I still don't know how he lost that fight. I still don't make any sense.
He lost it because he was up the night before getting drunk with 3 Japanese girls in his bed. That's how he lost it, and he wasn't training. He only trained 3 weeks for that fight.
Yo, his corner, the cornermen had balloons as inswell.
Yeah,
they had water balloons, cold water balloons as inswell. Them dudes was clowns, man.
Aaron Snow, right? Aaron Snow. And the biggest thing he did was fire his trainer, who
the Rooney.
Rooney told him the truth. Rooney told him, you know, what he had to do, and kept him. You know, he was the last vestige of cuss attached to him. And Don King didn't want any of that. You know, he sold him on the whole race car thing.
Do you think Tyson could have ever been a trainer?
No, he's too crazy. He's too nuts, man.
No. You know, not every great student of the game, so to speak, could be a good teacher.
It's a different thing altogether.
That definitely is.
I do both. I perform and I teach, and they're both totally
different. But surely he could have some influence to say, look, this is how you do it. I'll show you how to do the basics, you know, like basics.
Nah, he doesn't have the patience for that. He doesn't have the psychology for that. And you know what? He doesn't need to do that. He's making millions of dollars with his business and show. He doesn't need that.
And I'm gonna be quite honest. Kudos to guys like you, Tom, that could do that, because I can't teach at all, yo. Like I can learn well, but to be able to like explain it to others well, where they could get it. If you can't get it the way I'm saying it, then I don't know what to tell you. Because
you have to know. You know, I agree with you. You have to know how the other person learns. Not everybody learns the same way. There's not one way to teach. You have to look at the person in front of you and figure out how. Some people learn by watching. Some people learn by reading. Some people learn both.
Yeah, they got different types of words. Right. They got visual learners. They got audio learners. Right.
Before we step off to our next thing, I play a lot of table tennis, right? I played for 25 years. And there's a woman at the club, I try and teach her different shots, but she don't want to know. She's had training, but she's still useless. I just don't bother telling her. So now, when the last told her, she told me to mind my own business. So I said to her, fine, you can get on with it.
Exactly. Leave her alone. Let her do it her own way. You know, until someone comes for you to ask for help, if you offer it and they say no, fine. You know, the only time a person can change is if they really want to and they want help. Otherwise,
yeah.
You know? Right, let's
sometimes
on to our next thing.
Yeah, we have one more card here. We got the Canadian card, Rosicky versus Gorvlov.
Arthur Gorlov. Ryan Rosiski, I've been impressed with him when he fought Oscar Rivas for the Bridgerweight belt. He fought a very close fight. No,
Yeah,
he's a decent.
he was.
He's a decent cruiserweight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is another card that should be good. I think one of these. What is one of these on Sky? I think the Wembley one is on Sky.
The other one is on. I don't know what the other one's on. Just some Canadian card, isn't it? So
I'm not sure.
yeah, it's a Canadian card. Yeah, Canada boxing's not. Is more or less an afterthought in Canada. I think.
Y'all on wait, I'll tell y'all right now. Hello, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. The Azim card is on Fight TV. Oh, they both on Fight TV. I don't know if y'all get that over in the UK.
Yeah, I've got the app. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's gonna be on, well, that's my time. It's 3:00 my time. So I guess 8:00 for the Wembley card, 7 p.m. for the Canadian card. They got a fight on tonight on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
And,
What's that?
yeah, they got a card on tonight. Georgia Costos versus Marlon Sims, super featherweights.
His home is in the
Well, I can't
the
watch
back.
it. I got about 5 minutes here before I got to hit the stage.
Right, we
So
better
I
go anyway, guys. We'll be
Hey, it
back.
was a nice time.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. I thought we could do it on Thursday morning in England because Thursday and Friday I'm off. You see, so I thought we could do it Thursday morning.
So this time, the day before.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Yeah,
So the same time, but just on Thursday.
yeah.
Let me
One
make
day
sure I'm
earlier.
available.